Here we go again. Another Survivor post-game show, and it is season 49. We are through episode 10 of Survivor. Day 18 on the island for these youngsters. And time to break it down and talk all about it. That is Boy Green right next to me. Good evening, Boy Green. Welcome aboard again. On the road up in New Hampshire, getting ready for the big Turkey Day holiday tomorrow. Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
With the fam joining us as well from his humble abode. I don't know. We'll ask him what he's up to for Thanksgiving. It is the one, the only, Bret LaBelle, our Survivor Insider. What's up, Bret? How are you?
Hey-o. How you guys
What you doing for Thanksgiving, Bret?
doing?
You doing anything for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to my sister's. Well, I'm stopping off. I'm going to my sister's.
Okay, going to your sister. She in
I'm
Boston?
going to my sister's.
Boston area, one of the Babs? She in like a Brookline or where is she?
She's about an hour outside of Boston in Worcester, the other city, big city in
She's in Worcester.
Yeah.
Worcester.
There you go.
All right,
Yeah.
Worcester it is for Bret. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I visited
That's
a
right.
school, WPI. My son looked at WPI, Worcester Polytechnical Institute, as a potential college choice, but he ended up, as we all know, going to Carnegie Mellon. I've said that enough times.
Yeah.
And you see me wearing the apparel all the time. I'm like,
very nice.
Very, very proud papa. All right, let's talk about it, gentlemen. Juwan gets the boot. Oh, and nobody eliminated off of our Survivor board. We all do like that. But man, this thing was waffling back and forth. Man, it was looking bad for my boy Steven. I was like, oh, he's on the outs. I'm going to need Kristina to play that idol. She ends up playing the idol for him. But in the end, it's Juwan. So let's just start with the end and then work our way back, Bret. Good move, bad move. Did you like how it went down?
I thought it was fun the way it went down. It was, I like when people they're like, okay, we're not going to win this. What are we going to do? And they take matters into their own hand. They have these extra tools, which, there's part of me that thinks is unfair, but they had the extra vote, and they made it work for themselves. So it was good. And I like it when people think they know what's going on and they really don't.
All right, so let's get into this because me and Lawrence are talking. Yeah, go ahead, Bret.
No, I was just going to say, was it Sophie there? She thought she had it all figured out. So, and it turned out she did not. So it was fun to watch.
And I was talking about this with Lurch before
Sage.
the show.
I'm sorry, Sage.
Sage, yeah. Sage thought she had it all figured out, and then it ended up being the other way. I was talking about this with Lurch before it started. So Rizo, it looks like he's fumbling with this real idol that he's had the entire season, and says, "Jeff, do you mind if I say a few words?" And he sort of laughs, says, "No, go ahead, man." And he gives this whole speech of, tonight I'm going to find out who's really with me and who's really not. And he hands the idol. We all think, finally, Rizzo's played the idol. And then he sits back down, and everyone's like, all right, here we go. And Jeff goes, this is not a hidden immunity idol. And then they do sort of a zoom in on it. You're like, whoa, it's a beautifully crafted fake idol, it appears. And everyone starts freaking out at Tribal. And Lurch told me,
cocky
I don't want to put
SOB is what
cocky
I said.
SOB, but he didn't think it was a good move to do all that theater there. Mm-hmm. I told Lurch, I thought it was a great thing. He's like, what? I said, I'll save it for the show. So here it is. The reason why I think it's interesting for Rizzo to do that, because he also still a real idol and it all worked out, is you test people's loyalty. You give the fake idol, and then you just look at everyone's face and say, hey, this is for Savannah, and see how people judge who's with you, who's not with you. And you get all the theater of doing it, but also keeping the idol in your pocket. So you test their loyalty. You keep the idol for a future play, which, again, he's eventually going to run out of spots to use it before you can't use it anymore, because once we get to 4, it's fire making. So at Final 5 is the final time he'll have a chance to use it. I thought it was a beautiful play by Rizzo. Lurch didn't like it as much. What say you, Bret?
Yeah, I think it was definitely used so that he could judge what the reactions that people made, right? And try to gauge who was on his side, who was shocked by it, who was bummed out. But I mean, they all know that wasn't real after he played it, when they know he's got a real one. So it's not like if he was trying to trick a bunch of people, he didn't do that. I think he was doing it just to gauge everyone's reaction. And and if he did get some intel out of that, then maybe it was worth it, to see who's with him and who's not. But I think at this point, you kind of know who's with you and who's not, So,
and to me, what's the intel you get out of it? The votes are gonna be read. You're gonna find out who's with you and who's not. It was, to me, theater. This man has been cocky. He's getting cockier. I don't understand why the people in his alliance are not seeing this. It's almost like I was saying this to Boy Green before we got on the air. Bret, I think that it's funny, the moxie of people that are in his alliance, I think, are playing to Rizzo's strengths. And what I mean by that is that Savannah has an ego. Sophie now, we're starting to see her ego. I'm talking about Sophie, who won immunity tonight. Not Sophie, who won immunity tonight.
Oh, okay.
All right. Soph, we always know, is kind of, she has that good social game, and feels like she can control it when she's need to control it. So you have all these people that think they're in control. Meanwhile, he's the one really controlling at this point. Everything is going his way each and every time, and no one's having any objection to it. Usually, if someone's pushing the buttons, you're like, I'm not going to let that person push the buttons, and that person is getting pushed out. Right now, Riz continues to fly under the radar. I'm just wondering whether this episode kind of outs him a little bit, because I don't know if I was in his alliance that I would have liked that play. I don't think I would have liked it. Go ahead, Bret. You comment on it.
No, I wouldn't liked it, and I certainly, if I was, unless he told her, Savannah, I wouldn't like somebody playing a fake on me. I would. Now, maybe she was in on it, which I'm assuming she was. It won't. But I think definitely people, it was a cocky move. I agree. He goes up there. He's like, I want to address the class. A little cocky, but he's been cocky, for the last, few episodes. Yeah, I think it definitely rubs some people the wrong way. I think that you're correct, and I think Sophie B, my Sophie that I have, I think she does like you said earlier, she's got a great social game, but she's got to kind of step it up a little bit. She needs to. Yeah. She's kind of just riding the wave. I think she needs to kind of make a move here if she's going to actually win this game.
And if anything was to bother people, Lurch, to your point on Rizzo, I think it's that. So Juwan gets eliminated. He's out. Juwan gets up and Rizzo goes, hey, you crossed me once. I wasn't going to let it happen again. Like, it was all on him. He was the reason. He was taking credit publicly in front of the jury. I'm the reason you're sitting on that bench over there. So come here. You're out. And here's your bag. Take it and get the hell out of here. Like, I think that's the part that could potentially rub people the wrong way when you publicly take credit like that, put it on your own back, especially with so much game left. Like, he has one idol, and that can save him one more time after this. But all of a sudden, you start rubbing people the wrong way too early. You don't have that path to the end.
Yeah, I want to second that. I mean, I think that nobody missed that. Nobody missed him saying, I couldn't have you do that again. He's definitely playing up to the jury. He's already making a case for himself. And if you're sitting there and not taking notes, they really need to start going after him, because he is building his resume. He is building his reason to give him the $1 million right in front of their eyes.
Here's a quick follow-up here. I don't think I've ever seen this before, so I'm going to go to our mutual buddy here, Dalton Ross of Entertainment Weekly. So we find out at the end, Juwan, he was surprised, right? He didn't know it was him. And then, so he gets eliminated. He's just sort of standing around. Jeff, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? Like, grab your torch, because it's going to be snuffed, and everyone's, Bret, you can tell us more about this as well, that everyone's torch has their name on it on a little tag. So you're supposed to know what your torch is. But as they sort of show as they're walking out, Rizzo's like, wait a second. Juwan took my torch. So his torch, Rizzo's, was snuffed. And Adult made a joke here that in this game, fire represents your life. When your fire's gone, so are you. Sorry, Rizzo, you're now out because your torch ended up going here. Has that ever happened before where someone took up the wrong torch? Are they just going to switch this back, Bret? Like when Rizzo gets back to camp and say, just kidding, here's your thing, Juwan made a mistake? Or is he going to now carry Juwan's torch for the rest of the game? What happens here?
Well, he'll carry Juwan's torch, but nobody's assigned a torch. The only time you see the names on it was when they used to burn them. They'd put the names on the people that get voted out, but that was afterwards. I would, when we were playing, as we did the merge, I would always have to have an old purple Gen X torch.
Buff.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Right. So no, torch. So the torches were the same color as
of your tribe. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But I didn't. It could have been Chris Hammonds' torch at one point. They're kind of interchangeable. You just grab them and you make sure. I would never take a Millennials torch. I would always have a Gen X torch. But So yeah, I don't know how Rizo had, he put notches on his to make so he knew it was his, but yeah, you're pretty much just grabbing the torch of your first tribe.
Okay. All right. So it's just kind of colored torches. All right. So Jawan's out. Good play by Rizo and his crew. The extra vote did get played. So that's now out of play.
Correctly.
Of course, the one thing that still does exist that really could be the ripple in this game, could be the one more thing that could flip this thing outside of immunity and things of that nature, or idols back in play that have now been, taken out. Like Kristina's idol, will a new one appear? Generally speaking, that does happen. So that could come into play. But Sophie still has the knowledge is power, and nobody knows that she has it. Good for her. So she could, dare I say, now go to Rizo essentially at a tribal and take his idol from him finally. He hasn't played it now, all these things. That would be the ultimate to me. That's how Sophie really gets points. She takes out Rizo by taking his idol off him and then taking him out at the kneecaps. And I'll tell you what, Sage will be up for it because Sage is PO'd after tonight, losing her boy Jawan.
I just have to say, you have to double dip it. If she just takes it and he survives that tribal, all hell breaks loose when you get back. So if you do that, you better be confident as heck that I'm taking this away, and then we're going to bludgeon him in the back of the head and take him out at the same time, because that's where I think it could be effective. What say you, Brett?
Yeah, I mean, you want to take out the snake. I mean, this is exactly what we had on Millennials versus Gen X with David. Everyone wanted to take out David. Whoever could take out David, that was definitely something on your resume. I tried to take him out. I got taken out the next night he went out. So, but it's very similar, right? Like if you can ride the wave. Like Sophie can ride the wave. Sophie B. I like to call her my Sophie because I have her in the.
Of course,
of course, she can ride the wave. If she could take out, if she could take out Rizo, that's huge for her resume. That's such a huge move. I think that the jury would really respect it. It would definitely help her moving forward. I think you're right. I think she.
So is it a tease, Brett? Because on the looking ahead to the next episode, it showed Sophie's choice. Your Soph. That is yours there, Brett, that she seemed to be communicating with members not named Savannah Rizo, like, hey, I'm all for taking out Rizo. And like, oh, well, the way to do it would be knowledge is power. Do you think that's BS, or is that they're showing us the cards that, hey, there's about to be a change?
I mean, you just never know what they want. It's a teaser for next week. It would make sense to me. I mean, look, we're getting to the nitty gritty here. What do they got? 7 people left?
Yeah.
So we're inching really close to final 5, and I definitely think that this could be the time. So I mean, they have to be thinking to go after Rizo. They have to realize that he's getting more and more dangerous the further he gets. So I would bet that that's probably true. I bet they're going to go after him next episode.
Hey, the Hot Grim Reaper is back in the house, Boy Green.
And I'm a bet.
You look like a new person there without the beard shaving on losing his Jets bet.
Yeah.
That sucker's going to grow back there. But thank you, Hot Grim Reaper, for getting back in
It's
there.
very Ghost Island, though, I will say, because like there's been a few times. So something I like to do when I'm just sitting here, Brett says something very smart. I'm like, I go to stroke the beard, but there's no beard, so I'm just grabbing it.
Right, you grab it a lot. Yes, you do.
It's kind of like if people have glasses, like, and you take them off, and then you just go to adjust them, and there's nothing there, so you're just going like this, like an idiot, and they're like, geez, there's nothing on my face. So yeah, there is a little bit of that with a beard that doesn't exist. But have you ever grown out the beard? Ever got burly? Got some girth going on there?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that. I have grown it up pretty good. I haven't gotten that far down yet, but
yeah. You haven't gone full. You haven't gone full Boy Green.
I just have a little beard, but
that's healthy. That's healthy.
I like it.
You guys can grow beards.
It looks more like yours now.
Right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Lurch, you can't grow a beard, Lurch?
No.
Yeah, what's going on, Lurch?
It's just sparse. It's awful. I did a goatee last year, a little over a year ago. Boy, I kind of liked it. He was all about it, but I don't know. Yeah, it was so itchy. It just drove me crazy.
You have to power through, Lurch. There's an initial itchy.
I know that's what they say, but I powered and it was still itchy. I didn't like it. It was itchy.
How long did it take you to grow the goatee?
Months, man.
Jesus. Okay. Wow.
It was slow. It was so slow, and it still wasn't even a really good goatee, but. I figured, I could try to do it. I don't know.
I never grew a beard until I was on Survivor. And
right, where you have no choice, right?
Yeah,
I always shaved. And people said it looked good, so I was like, so I kept it.
Okay, there you go.
All right, I got some fun stuff to talk about tonight in this episode. How about the boy band, man? The boy band's been broken up now because Jawan's gone home, but we had Rizo, Jawan, and Steven boy banding it up with the Three Boys on a Bench tune, among others. I thought that was pretty cool. What'd you think of the boy band?
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but because I always love that anything you do to try and you do so much out there just to entertain yourselves because you get so bored. But I would say they come up with another line. They only had like one line, like three guys on a bench or something. I was like, okay, what's the next line? Like, if you're gonna be creative, let's come up with the next line. But I thought it was funny. I do enjoy that because you do that kind of stuff when you're out there. You just get so bored that you gotta do stuff to pass the time.
So camp life again. Brett has talked about it forever. That's the stuff he's intrigued by, and they showed us like, hey, what are we going to do? Because you heard him almost talking about it before they even got to Three Boys on a Bench. They're like, hey, what are we going to do today? There's not a whole heck of a lot going on, and they're giving us a little bit of these peaks. And with 90-minute episodes, I don't know why we're not getting a little bit more of this action. So for sure, yeah, that's great.
Well, Brett, as a sports guy, I've always wanted to do play-by-play. Jeff gets to do play-by-play every single week on Survivor when they're doing the challenges, both the immunity and the reward challenges. And he really got into it tonight when Kristina nearly fell off the beam, and he was like, "Come on, Kristina! Pull yourself up! Channel your mom!" Everybody was getting into it. Kristina kind of had a heroic moment. Do you like it when Jeff plays up the play-by-play, dare I say, and tries to play into the drama a bit? Go ahead.
It felt a little forced to me. It felt like he was trying to get his Suri moment back. So that Suri moment years ago was great. Where she I don't know, she did something. She was struggling and she did something too. But I liked it for Kristina because I think she was kind of going through a tough time in her head there. So I did like it for her. I think it was a great moment, but I think it was ruined by Jeff or Uncle Jay, as they call him. I just thought it was a little too much.
Play-by-play.
Yeah, that was. I'll tell you, boys, that was my favorite line. My favorite line was "Hug that beam, hug that beam," and I was just like, "Wow, okay, there you go, really getting into it there."
And she just had that great moment about her mother, and because you just felt the pain this poor girl was, going through, and I lost my mother a year ago, so I feel like I felt for her. I did, and you guys know me. I don't like this whole touchy-feely crap, but I kind of felt for her, and I thought it was a little bit of, I was like, wow, this is like she kind of, she really kind of let it out, and I was kind of worried for her, but it actually turned into a tender moment.
Yes, it did.
But then I just felt like afterwards, it's like, all right, come on, Jeff, like you're kind of overdoing it for her. I think you kind of, I felt like it took away from her moment. That's all,
We also got to see an offer from Jeff, first one this season, of a bag of rice at the immunity challenge, and the group did end up turning it down after a quick attempt at negotiation, which I don't think would have worked anyway. I don't know who the heck would have sat out at all. So they didn't end up getting the rice. Brett, I can't remember. Did you get an offer during your season? And what do you think when Jeff makes these offers of food for, say, the rest of the game in order for people to sit out a challenge? Would you ever do it? Do you think anybody should ever do it on Survivor?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get into the nitty gritty, I don't think you should really be sitting out of challenges. I didn't sit out of challenge, even though I should have. He offered us beer and peanut butter and jellies, and I regret. And I had to stand on a balance beam, which I knew my feet were never going to handle. I should have bowed out and taken the beer and the peanut butter and jelly. The thing I don't like is how it projects to the other players. If you bow out and say, I'm going to sit out and eat peanut butter and jellies and beer, it doesn't feel like you're in it to win it. So I don't like how that portrays to the other players. However, looking at, as I watch it back, years later, I'm like, there's no way I would have done well on that balance beam challenge. I should have taken the beer and the peanut butter and jellies, because I do love a peanut butter and jellies. That's what I used to eat every day when I was a kid growing up. So at school,
Are you able to explain that away after, Brett? So, okay, most people would assume, okay, you're just doing it for selfish reasons of food and your own security. You must feel pretty good about your alliance if
Right.
you're willing to step out and do that. But to your point, Brett, in your head, you had a very legitimate reason why you were thinking about doing it. Because, hey, guys, I'm just going to drop in 2 seconds. So if I'm going to drop in 2 seconds anyway, why not get the food? Do you think that's something you can successfully, explain to your alliance, or are they just going to see it in the prism that everyone sees and says, hey, you're just doing this for arrogance and these other reasons that most people assume?
I think you just never want to look lazy ever, whether it's, grabbing firewood in the morning. You just never want to just bring attention to yourself in any way. And if you're sitting over there while everyone's struggling on the balance beam with the thing in their hands, trying to balance a ball, and you're sitting there drinking beers and it just doesn't,
Awkward.
yeah, it's just not good. So I think, you got to be careful. I also had won a few challenges, so I was kind of fed.
Mm-hmm.
Change that a little bit. If I hadn't have won those food rewards before, I probably, and I was really hungry, I might have actually just done it, because food is important for your mental acuity too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
No question.
in order to talk to people, you know, strategically, which you need to do out there, you definitely, you got to have some food in you and stuff like that. So I would say it's worth the chance. Maybe if you haven't had any food and you're starving and it's affecting your entire life out there, then I would say yes, just do it, because it'll put you in a mind to get back in the game. But there's just so much to weigh when you do that,
All right,
because it
Brett,
does tick off a couple of people.
I want you to react to this Jeff line. He said this. There was this emotional moment with Kristina. We could talk a little bit more about that if you guys want to. But like after she has her moment and Jeff asks her some questions about her mom and tell me about it, he goes, folks, this is what Survivor's all about. The game of Survivor is the lure, but the experience is the real prize. Brett, your reaction to that?
I will agree with Jeff on that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the experience was unbelievable. It's life changing. It was a great time in my life to go out there and do something fun like that, and I enjoyed it. I wasn't crying out there that much. I cried when my father came out, but I wasn't regretting being out there. I went out there and it was a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun, and I knew what it was. And I just, sometimes when I see, like, even Rizo today crying, I'm like, my God, dude, you're crushing out there. What are you crying for? You missed one meal? Like, I don't know. I just, you've been out there for 18 days and you're crying because you didn't pick up a challenge. I don't know. I gotta talk. These Gen Zers. I don't know, man. You gotta buckle up. I mean, come on, life's tough, but you're on Survivor and you're doing really well. You're all in final 7. Like, stop the crying and get back to the game.
Well, Sage continues to be a conundrum for me as a human being. 2 things came out about Sage tonight that I'd love for you gentlemen to react to. The first one, let's tell them we're talking about me having gas so that we aren't really talking about strategy. And then followed it up at Tribal Council with her lack of knowledge in sports. That one kind of hit me in the gut a little bit. I think I'm no longer a Sage fan now that I know she knows nothing about sports. What is the Super Bowl, that big game that they play at the end of the football season? Okay, Sage. All right, we get it. We see the tattoos. We kind of get it. Give me your thoughts on Sage's oddities. We talked about the collecting blackheads in a bottle last week, so now we're up in the game just a little bit more. Go ahead.
Yeah, it feels like she's trying to be as odd as she possibly can. I mean, you know what the Super Bowl is. My God, everyone knows what the Super Bowl is. I don't. So she's got some of the stuff I love with Sage, right? Like, she's like, when they pan to her after they all talk, she's like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, that's the stuff I like. But then she starts talking about farts and stuff, and I'm just like, oh God, like, it's just, you're losing me here. I don't want to talk about your gas. It's like, come on. And maybe I'm just old school, but I'm just like, I don't want to hear about that, like, but she's entertaining. She was playing a good game. She did get blown up, and I don't think she's going to be able to recover from it.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
my
think so
personal
either.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jawan was her ride or die, so we'll see how she responds. I'm curious. Sage during the episode said this about herself. I wonder if you guys agree or disagree. She claimed that she's been giving an Oscar performance with her acting among her tribe mates and saying she is a great liar, quote unquote. Let's go around the room. Brett, we'll start with you. Do you agree that Sage has been giving, again, quote, an Oscar performance with her acting and that she's a great liar?
I think she's doing really well. I think that she might have overplayed a bit and she kind of blew up her spot. But I thought she was playing very well up until this episode. I think that she was keeping a lot of stuff to the chest that people were telling her, and I think that was a good move. And I think that's why I put her in a position that she was in today, where she could try to take out Savannah, but she didn't do it. She didn't take her out, and it's going to bite her.
You know, the funny thing for me on this one, BG, is this.
Yeah.
To answer your question first, yeah, I mean, again, I don't love braggadocious on Survivor, whether it's Rizo, whether it's Sage, no matter who it is. I never like that play. I always think it's good to be humble in life, period, and that includes Survivor. But putting that aside, no, she's been a pretty good liar. But I would say this. I think as a lot of people watch this game, and I bet you guys would feel the same way, although Bret was on the island, so I don't know if he feels the same as us. But, as someone who's watched Survivor all these seasons, as someone who's a fan of the show, someone in my case who has no desire to go out on the island, I still, when I watch the show, imagine myself to be there. It's like you project yourself into the game and you say, like, how would I react to that? Like that thing about Rizo would really annoy me. I'm not really annoyed at Rizo, but I'm annoyed at Rizo because if I were in the game, I'd be like, you little snake, you don't be giving me that stuff, So I think with Sage and I would not be in an alliance together in all likelihood. She hates sports. Okay. I'm a nutty sports guy. And I just don't I don't know. She just rubs me the wrong way as a character in the show. And I think if I were out there, I would read her that way. And I'd kind of be like, nah, I'll leave her for the other side and I'll go over with these people over here. I mean, in the end, Brett, I know that we've had some odd pairings over the years in Survivor, but wouldn't you say that you do tend to kind of gravitate to people that I don't know, I don't want to say fit your norm, but kind of fit you as a personality? Talk about that a little bit as a former player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I gravitated towards Chris Hammonds. I gravitated towards Sunday, and Sunday and I got to go on great immediately. The minute we saw each other.
And what was it about those two? What was it?
I don't know. Maybe because we were both around the same age. We same sense of humor. I think Sunday gravitated towards me because I reminded her of her brother, who's oddly enough was a cop. So I must have been giving out some cop vibes,
Oh.
But I don't know. I don't know what it is. But like certain people. But then again, Zeke and I really connected. I don't know. It's hard to say why people connect, but some people just connect. And
yes.
Like everyone that I connected with out there closely with on Survivor, I'm still very close with. And I think it's just some people jive with different people. I don't believe I like Sage. I've enjoyed watching her. There's certain things that gross me out that she says, but that's her wow factor. And I think that's what she's going for, which is fine. I don't know. I would keep her close. I would be friendly with her, but I'm with you, Lurch. I don't think that's a person that I would have been jive. I would be like, the first chance I got, I might try to get her out just because I feel like she's playing so hard.
Well, it's the old line, right? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I'd keep her closer because I would always be on the lookout for her betraying me in some way. I don't know, man. She just gives me a bad vibe. Go ahead, BG.
Well, yeah, I was just going to jump on to add in to say that I think the thing that helps her, she's so quirky. And Carolyn, she reminds me of Carolyn in a much different way. But
yes.
It's easier to lie when you have these quirks and people are like, oh, that's just who that is. It's not lies or anything. And you can sort of hide behind the mystique. Carolyn talked about playing it up a little bit. Maybe Sage is doing it the same way of whatever makes her who she is, right? Every snowflake in the universe, not one is the same to another person, so everyone has their own quirks and personalities and things. So I think that definitely helps her. But I want to use what you just said, Lurch, to bring it back full circle. Kristina one of the things she was struggling with before she talked about her mom was that she couldn't separate game betrayal versus real life betrayal, and she was sort of battling those demons.
Yes.
Brett, you just talked about that you guys had all these, sometimes tough moments on Survivor, but then you're still friends with everyone that you connected with, it sounds like, on Survivor. How can you just separate and say, it's just a game that's also happened to me for $1 million, but also that there's these life experiences that changed you and they're something you're going to remember forever, especially the people that you shared some of those memories with forever? How do you separate those two things?
Well, it takes time. I mean, there's some people that can do it and they can explain to you right away, hey, listen, man, I had to get you out. Like David Wright. Take David Wright. We both knew we had to get. I needed David Wright out to win the game. He needed me out. He did not like how how friendly I was with the jury, and I was extremely friendly with the jury. I did not like, that he had a story arc the whole way through. Like he had this. I'm a meek guy who shouldn't be out here. To look at me, I'm this crazy lion, who's going to take everyone out. Like I was like, oh God, we got to get this guy out. He's got such a story. But at the end of the day, when we met up, at Ponderosa, we both say, hey, listen, I had to go for you. I had to go for you too. And it was totally understandable in the game. Then there's other people that blindside you and you just never can get over it. You can never get over it, whether they take you out or they take out a friend of yours. It's something that just, I don't know, they just don't do it with kid gloves. They don't explain themselves well after. So it's just human nature. It's people talking to people, and sometimes you're going to be comfortable with things and sometimes you're not. And it comes down to sometimes you just don't like the person. So you're not going to, nothing they say is going to make it all right.
It's not going to change it. Right. I know it's true. It's just true in life. I mean, I try always never to be a judgmental person, but it's almost like we're programmed in some way. I mean, you're kind of saying, as you were giving your answer there before, Brett, I was thinking, logical, or what Boy Green was saying, logical people behave in logical ways. Illogical people make for better liars because they're illogical, right? So I'd be terrible on Survivor because I'm too logical. I kind of stay by the straight and narrow for the most part. So people would be able to, and I'm a crazy loyalist, right? That can be bad sometimes in Survivor, especially in modern day Survivor, and you talk about that whole thing of like, can you separate real life from stuff? We play in fantasy leagues in our sports product that we have online, and like it gets heated. And like I gotta say, like there have been moments, where guys have done dastardly things, and I'm like, I don't like him. That was mean, and I'm like upset for it. And then like I collect myself, as you say, it takes time. Usually it's only fantasy football, for crying out loud, right? But when I'm able to finally collect myself, I say like, oh, come on. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? It's fantasy football, for crying out loud. I mean,
so is that the same thing for Survivor fantasy draft?
He's in the hospital with cancer, and I'm thinking about whether this guy, undermine me with a trade in fantasy football. What the heck am I doing? So it always ends up coming back full circle. What were you saying, BG?
Do you feel the same way about Survivor fantasy drafts, or?
Yeah, this is not very nice what you did with Rizzo, but I'm still.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I was
just what you did. You've given me a path.
No, we know what you're talking about.
Right?
I know what you're talking about, Lurch.
I'm not winning with Steven, but you've given me a path to root against Rizzo now, and so I'm using that as my fuel. That Rizzo can't win now, and as long as Rizzo doesn't win, I feel justified. That's the way it went down. So
that was not very nice. Truer words were never said. Even when you bring up, you could relate that to our Survivor draft too, with what happened. But I'm not getting involved with it, BG. This is between you and Lurch.
Of course. Hey, winners write history, baby. So if a certain guy gets the votes, and
I can tell you, we'll never record one again, Brett. I'll never allow it to be recorded. It will be live, or we won't do it. Okay, it will be live, and that's it. We will never record one again. I will tell you that. I would never give him advantage. The one thing with Boy Green and playing with fantasy leagues all the years, all these other things that we've done together over the years, because we're good buddies, we do a lot of things together. I would say I always learn. Okay, fine. I'll never do that again.
Get me once.
I learn and progress, man. I just, okay. I'm not going to give him the opportunity to get the wedge in there because I'm not going to put myself in a position for him to be able to get the wedge in there. So it just is what it is. But you can't take it seriously in the end.
Sure.
And like you said, I mean, you really, what blows my mind is, what we met you, 8 years ago, essentially, virtually, and you started coming on our radio show. And what really has amazed me in working with you all these years and talking Survivor and now doing these Survivor post-game shows is just that this community of Survivor, the players, okay, there's a community of us watchers, and there are a lot of us out there watching it right now and enjoying it, right? But then there's this community of the players, the people that have been on the island, who have suffered, taken the bug bites on and the starvation and everything else, and the game itself, and especially those that play deep into the game like you have. And it's a special community, and it's really kind of cool, and it's fun just even watching it through your eyes and seeing it through your experience, because it just shows what a show like this can actually do in the community that it can build. It's kind of cool to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is kind of cool, and I am psyched to be a part of it, and I'm always excited who I get to meet and who I become friends with, and and we do kind of look out for each other, and we reach out to each other. It is a lot of fun, and I am proud to be a part of it, and I hope it continues on. I am getting more worried every episode that we could be seeing the end of Survivor, and I hope not. But just remember, we always have Australian Survivor because that's going strong. So
I will be honest, Boy Scout, thing here. I've never seen Australian Survivor, and I'm a massive Survivor fan. And I've heard even during today's episode, because I try to, on commercial breaks, check out Survivor Twitter. See, did I miss something that we should be talking about right now in the episode? And I'm seeing people go, "Oh my God, I can't wait till Jeff Probst gets conked over the head with a coconut," and then the surviving you'll get the name, Brett. The host of Australian Survivor should take over, is what a lot of people are saying on Twitter.
Yeah. I think. Listen, it's when I started watching Australian Survivor, I was still I am a diehard American Survivor, but it took 5 minutes to get. And this isn't. I'm not. I like Jeff. Jeff's a friend of mine. I'm good with him. But it took me about 5 minutes to get over that it wasn't Jeff. And then I was like, it was such great gameplay. It was really cool. That guy does a really good job, the Australian guy. He does a really good job. Just as good of a job as Jeff. And they're both entertaining, and they're both fun to watch. I feel like Jeff, as he gets on in his years, I feel like he's like even today, I just felt like it was kind of forced, some of the stuff, so.
All right, let me ask you this, because this was a debate point. This works all together. So, again, Brett, you would know this because I haven't seen it before. Parvati won Survivor Australia, correct? Or around the world or something? She won an alternative version of Survivor?
Australia was the second season. That was, what did Parvati win? She won.
But it's some alternative. I'll make sure I get it here in a second.
Yes. You mean Australian Survivor?
I think
not Australian Outback, right?
Oh, yes. Excuse me. Yes, obviously, right. Not Outback. That was Tina. Yeah, Tina won that.
So I heard that she played. I did not see that season, but I did hear that she played Australian Survivor. No, it's fine. I'm not gonna. Listen. Here's the thing with the Australian Survivors. You'll go watch it. You'll watch a lot of it, but they run it 3 days a week. It's huge down there. So you get so much more camp life. Yes. So there's 3 episodes a week. So you'll start it, you'll enjoy it, and then a lot of times you just don't have the time to continue it,
Okay, here it is.
It's fine. You didn't.
Yeah, apparently it's Survivor Australia versus the world. There was a thing that just came out this season. Well, the reason I bring it up is it caused issues because Jeremy, your guy, Jeremy out there in Cambridge, I believe, is where world Jeremy
he's a Cambridge firefighter, but he lives in Foxborough.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So he recently came out and said, cool, Parvati won this alternative version of Survivor, Australia versus the world, but that doesn't count as a second, basically that doesn't count the same as Tony that won 2 straight up on American Survivor, or Sandra that won 2. It counts, but not in the same. And Jeremy caught a lot of heat on social media, you're disrespecting Parvati and all this stuff. I'm going to be honest, I sort of agree with Jeremy, even though I haven't seen whatever this other version is. I don't know if those other versions count in the same way. What say you, Brett?
Well, I would put an asterisk next to it because they actually go 43 days or 45 days. It's actually a harder version of Survivor. Yeah, and you're also going in. Yeah, listen, they vote out Americans very quick in Australian Survivor. They don't want any part of us, which is probably why. So for her to go that far and do that well, I give her credit for that. I give her a lot of credit for that.
Would a reward challenge be like a Vegemite sandwich or something like that? Something Australian, shrimps on the Barbie, something along those lines?
Yeah, Vegemite. What's that other stuff? Nutella. Nutella sandwich.
Disgusting.
I'll tell you, I went to Australia and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I would definitely go back. Yeah. So
BG, more comments coming in on the
I
beard.
give her credit.
Johnny Boy, thank you, Johnny Boy, for joining us. Says, question for Bret and Lurch: who's the guy in the middle? Talking about your beard being shaved.
I know exactly. We don't know who it is either, but we've been talking to him for almost an hour.
That's true. This is my first show I've done since the beard shaving. So wow, this
fresh off the shaving. Yes,
there you go. Yeah.
It's funny. You actually look like someone from New Hampshire now. This is great.
Oh, good. Hopefully that's a good thing.
He's got a little granola in him. He's looking a little granola up there.
Yeah.
Looks like he's about to set a pipe bomb somewhere.
Hey, I always love to talk about the challenges, so let me squeeze this in before we get out of here. Did you dig? I loved a couple of things. I loved a couple things in the challenges tonight. How about the teeter tunnel? I like that teeter
brand
tunnel.
new. Yeah,
cool, flying around in that thing
like
that it flipped on.
Yeah, we've never seen that, right?
Cool.
Boy Green,
no.
We never saw that before.
We have not. That one was new.
The little ball in the chain.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. That was the other new thing.
To land in the net.
Yeah. Jeff said that. That was a new feature. They had neither have done either of those things. Yep.
Yeah. No, I like them. I tell you, the challenges have been. I don't know. They've been getting better and better each season. That's one thing. That's one thing I will say I like about the new era, whatever that bull crap they call it. I think the challenges are doing really well. I'm really they're really putting a lot of thought into the challenges. Sadly, they're not putting thought into anything else. I mean, I am so sick of them going to the same place for a reward. It's ridiculous. The sanctuary. I mean, give me a break.
Where good things
It makes
happen.
sense during COVID, but come on, COVID's over. It's all bull crap. So, they should be going to resorts. They should be going. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, they used to go on a yacht, spend the night on a yacht.
Sure.
They did fun stuff like that.
The sanctuary's not blowing me away. It just looks like something they constructed in the middle of the, right on the beach, and then you just go in there and there's some low-level tables and you're just eating. Remember they used to have the shower, you know, they had the massage tables, they did the massages.
They'd go out, the touchy-feely stuff where, hey, we go help out,
Right, they went to the animal thing.
Right, the again, the word is escaping me, but the not troubled use, but like the less fortunate people, and then they'd go and help them. Now, I'm sure it also helped that they used to travel to China and all these different places.
Correct.
Now they're going to Fiji over and over again. So I don't know what the current situation is for Fijian children, but man, those seem like life-changing, crazy experiences. And I didn't even mind the shameless promotions, right? They had that Jack Black movie a million years ago, and you get to have a movie theater out on the island, and then there's a plug or Lowe's or Home Depot. I didn't mind those. I thought we all sort of accepted the cheesiness or whatever that was. I sort of hate that they've taken some of that personality away.
Yeah, it's a mistake. And they have carte blanche in Fiji. They love them being there. They're bringing money into Fiji. They could find something like that. There's got to be tons of stuff they could be doing. And why they're not, I don't know. It seems like that creative aspect of it is gone. And I mean, they have an hour and a half now. Mm-hmm. They've never had an hour and a half before like this.
No.
This is great. You had 2-hour episodes usually on each end every season, which is great. But you never had this. I mean, they have a lot of time. They're in the 8:00 spot on CBS on Wednesdays. Come on, they got to be making money. And they got they have a cult following. So their ratings are doing well enough to keep them on the air. So they must be making money. I feel like they're getting really cheap with it, and I think it's really going to hurt them. Something needs to happen. So they need to spruce it up a little bit. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know I'm getting bored. I don't want to see them go to Sanctuary again. It's just stupid.
All right. Well, Bret, I'm very much looking forward to your answer after what you just said. So we love you grading the reward challenge, and I wrote down all the details. So at the Sanctuary, where good things happen, wink. They got a backyard picnic, which included hamburgers, hot dogs, all the fixings. So you could have gotten whatever you wanted on said hamburger and hot dog of your choice. For dessert, chocolate cake. Bret, how do you rate that reward challenge?
Well, thank God it wasn't pizza. That's all I can say. I mean, I rate that as okay. But did you see all the flies on the food? I'm just like, the whole thing is just I'm like, come on, man. Like,
I guess I won't be
this isn't
picky because I haven't eaten.
Maybe the
but yeah,
sanctuary should
that's
be
right.
air conditioning and enclosed.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
something. I mean, even look at, we were the first season, actually the second season to go to Fiji. Okay, 15, I think season 15 originally went to Fiji. Then they left Fiji. We were the first ones to go back to Fiji, and then they stayed there. But we even had a nice resort reward where we sat down. I think I had a lady give me a mani pedi. I had Jackie Treehorn's Caucasians. We were drinking the from if you're a Big Lebowski fan, but we were drinking White Russians, and I was doing cannonballs into the infinity pool overlooking the ocean. It was a beautiful spot, but it was nice. It was nice. I mean, that's how hard would that be for them to do? It's so simple. All you gotta do is take a boat to the resort. You pay the resort a little money, and you can have the dinner there. I don't understand how much money could they possibly be saving by going to the sanctuary every time. I think they're losing viewers. I think it's important to spice this thing up a little bit, So.
All right, last one for you from me tonight, Bret, and that is, so here we are. We're down to 7, so let's lay it out there. Forget about who we've drafted at this point. Let's talk about who we think is going to win this game. You got to pick one survivor tonight. Who wins Survivor 49?
I'm going my girl Sophie B. I am. I think she's going to make a move, though. That's a caveat, I guess, but she's got to make a move. But I think if she makes a move, I think she's made a lot of people happy on that jury.
I think it's a great choice.
Got a choice? Come on, and forget about who you picked.
Okay, of course.
Who you think is going to win the game?
Okay, that's most important. Let's put aside who we picked. I picked Rizzo. Okay, let me just lay it straight how I see the game. Blinders off. It's Rizzo. Come on. Obviously, he's in the best position to win this game. It's not even that I picked him. That obviously has absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever. But he's in the best position. He's still got 9-0 in his back pocket. He's operating at full flower. What about you, Lurch?
I'm kind of leaning where Bret is with Sophie. I think she's got some power there. I think and that knowledge and power is going to have a chance to flip this game if she plays it wisely. So I'm going to go with her at this point. I don't think Savannah will make it. She could make it to the end, but even if she did, I don't know if she'd get the votes.
She's a good talker, though.
Yeah. Sophie would get the votes. Sophie would get the votes if she gets in that final group. So I like.
And you're talking about Soph, right? Brett's.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Sophie, correct. Sophie B, aka Soph.
Right. Maybe when she officially eliminates Sophie, she could retake her name back.
Yeah.
When she gets to shove her in the water, she's like, "Oh, thank God, now I'm Sophie again." Right.
Shame on Survivor. What are they doing? Casting the same name? I mean, come on.
How many people
all
out
the
there in the
choices
universe?
you have? Couldn't you spread it out?
Right. There's so many people applying for this. Just get a different name.
Select by name. All right, final from all of us, guys. Since it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, I give you homage to offer something up for Thanksgiving, whether it's your favorite Thanksgiving dish or some little story you want to share, anything you want to give for Thanksgiving. Boy Green, why don't you go first on this one? You're with family up there in New Hampshire. Tell us something about Thanksgiving you want to tell us.
Well, about 6 hours ago, I was thankful for my beard, but that's no longer here. So I was thankful for that, but it's gone. I will say on, the best Thanksgiving dish. This is a dish I only have around this time of year. I respect, the natural order of things. I could have it whenever I want, I guess. Pumpkin pie. It's absolutely delicious. I don't like any other kinds of pie, pecan or apple. Hell no. It's pumpkin all the way, as long as it's made correctly. It tastes pretty damn good. So, I'm a pumpkin pie guy. Yeah.
All right, you like a crispy crust there, Boy Green? And what about whipped cream on top or no?
Absolutely not. Whipped cream tastes like nothing. So anyone that likes whipped cream sucks. So absolutely not. You get absolutely nothing. But what I like to do to make sure that the consistency is correct, I grab my fork and I graze the top of the pie. And I just want to get the right response from the pie to the fork grazing. Okay. And it can be cold. It can be room temperature. I've had it both ways, as long as it's, again, executed properly here. And then you eat the whole thing. It's delicious.
This is very particular. Bret LaBelle, offer something about Thanksgiving, if you like.
Well, my sister makes this great pumpkin bisque, which I look forward to every
Oh.
year. She makes it every year. It's so good. It's kind of like a lobster bisque, but with pumpkins. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it's so good and it's tasty. I don't know what's in it. I probably don't want to know what's in it, but it tastes good. And she makes it every year, so I'm excited for that tomorrow.
All
And
right.
then, of course, I love the turkey, the mashed potatoes, and the
Nice,
gravy, and all
yeah.
that shit too.
Yeah, that's all good too. I'm a big stuffing guy. I like stuffing in terms of
Oh
food.
yeah,
And I'm just
stuffing
thankful
with
for,
gravy.
you know,
Put the gravy on the stuffing too, Lurch.
But no sausage in
Gravy,
your stuffing,
sure.
right, Lurch? No sausage?
No sausage. In my
Okay,
stuffing.
good.
I don't like a meat-filled
Ooh.
stuffing. Boy, well, it sounds like Brett does.
Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah,
Dean
no sausage in
and
my stuffing.
that's good.
And primarily, you know, I'm grateful for just what the representation of what Thanksgiving is. You know, it's a holiday to give thanks,
Football.
it's a holiday for family, and it's a holiday for football, which is fantastic. We love sports, so getting those football games mixed in, and that it's actually acceptable on Thanksgiving. That even when you're at the table, you're peeking over at the TV and no one's saying anything to you. Because normally, you know, you're peeking over the TV during dinner and you might be getting a hard time in some family environments. But on Thanksgiving, it's totally acceptable. Or to say, I'll be there in a minute. Hold on. There's 2 minutes to go in the game here. And they'll wait for you to come to the table without giving you any guff. I like that on Thanksgiving. That's always a great thing. But I'm thankful for you guys too. Thank you for being part of this, Brett, with us every week. I know it's not the easiest thing to be popping in here right after every show on Wednesday nights. My wife is looking to kill me every time I pop on and, you know, interrupt our Wednesday evenings. But nonetheless, it's been a fun thing, and we're going to keep it going. We're through episode 10. We've got 7 survivors left, so a few more to go. And then we'll be doing it all over again in season 50, which we now know starts on February 25th. Yeah,
25th. Yeah.
Tonight. They've been promoting it, so we will be certainly along for season 50, which will be a blast with all the returning players. So, gentlemen, thank you for being part of this whole thing.
It's my pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving to you both. It's my favorite holiday. You get to, like you said, eat and watch football and just relax. It's a relaxing holiday. So I hope you guys enjoy yours with you and your families. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week at some point.
All right. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Boy Green. And thank you to all of you for jumping in the room with us tonight. We'll be back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Everybody take care.